Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. I've got these dry ager cabinets that I'm just trying to fill up. And in the fridge I've got a few things that are curing, salt curing, before I put them into the dry ager. And I'm thinking of all the different things that I can do, and there's all of these great traditional recipes out there for charcuteries and salamis, dried sausages, fermented sausages. But I thought, let's just do something right out of left field. And I thought, what if I took all the flavors I like in a big beef chili, salt cured them on this piece of beef, and then dry aged it? Let's see what'll happen. So let's build the cure. In here I have salt. This is Prague powder number 2 or pink salt number 2, even though it's white. Make sure you get number 2. This is black pepper. Mexican oregano. This is straight up cocoa powder. This is cayenne and paprika. And over here in this little mortar and pestle, I'm going to put some cumin and coriander seed. And I'm just going to crush those up. And so this is a total experiment. I have no idea if the flavors are going to work out well in this mixture. I don't know if I'm going over with some and under with others. 6 to 8 weeks from now, I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to mix this up. So all of the ingredients are in the description box below, and they're based off the weight of the meat as a percentage. So you find out the weight of the meat, and then you can figure out how much salt and cure to use, as well as the other spices. And doing it by weight means that you can be super accurate with the amount of salt and curing salt that you use, which means it's going to be safe. And it also means that you're not going to go over and make something that is so completely over-salted that you need to soak it later to get some of that salt out. This measured dry cure approach means that you're going to be able to do things accurately. It's going to be reproducible. You're going to know where you went wrong if you made a mistake, because you can go back and really take a look at it. And it also ensures safety, which when you're doing something like this, you want to make sure that you're safe. So this is going to cure in the fridge for quite some time. So I'm going to put it into this vacuum seal bag, and all of this cure goes in as well. Okay, into the vacuum sealer. And this will go into the fridge for 10, 12 days. And every once in a while, I'll pull it out and I'll just give it a little bit of a massage to make sure that all of this gets everywhere over the beef. And in a couple of seconds, it'll be 2 weeks from now. Okay, our little piece of chili beef has been vacuum sealed and curing in the refrigerator for 2 weeks now, 14 days. I'm going to cut this open and get it out here onto the tray. Oh, that smells wonderful. So you can see that it's fully cured. I just need to rinse some of this cure off before we move to the next operation. Okay, all rinsed off. Next step is to wrap it in some cheesecloth. And traditionally this would be done to keep the bugs off, is what I've been told. It also slows down the drying process a little bit, gets you a more even drying. Who knows? Let's just stick with tradition and see what happens. So, wrap this up. And then once you get it wrapped up, you need to truss it or tie it just with some butcher twine. And if you've watched me do this in other videos, you know that I don't do a really good job of this. I don't have enough practice. So do your best. Maybe watch one of the real experts do it and see if you can figure out what they're doing, because often they do it so fast that you can't see. I've got one string going this way. Now the next string goes this way. And we tie it up tight again. Now you want to tie it around. So I make a loop like that, and then I do it one more time. Bring it under. And then tie it off tight. And then you do another loop, and you just keep doing the same thing every inch or inch and a half. Okay, I record the weight that it is right now on this tag along with the date, and also what I expect it to weigh when it's done curing. We want this to lose 30-35% of its weight before it's safe to eat. And I attach this tag to it, and then we go to the dry ager. So I've got the small dry ager set up to 12 degrees Celsius and 80% humidity. I'm going to hang it up in here, and I'm going to come back maybe once a week and check the weight. I don't think this one is going to take very long. It's a fairly small cut. So I'll see you back here when it's done. Now this piece of chili beef has been in the dry ager for about a month, and you'll notice I've moved it down to the brewery. It was just getting so busy out in the studio, I put it down here. I weighed this up yesterday, and it has reached our target weight. So let's go back to the studio, unwrap it, and cut it up. Okay, here is the chili beef. Now, this is the first run through of doing these whole meats dry cured like this. I did 3 at the same time on the same day, and all the information that I had told me to wrap it in cheesecloth. I wouldn't do that again. I think I would just tie them up with the twine so that I can keep the shape and have something to hang them in the dry ager, but I definitely would not put the cheesecloth on the outside again. So let me get this pulled apart and see what we've got inside. Okay, so I rinsed this off under the sink. It had a light layer of white mold. Not a lot of white mold, actually. There was no green mold and no black mold. Black mold is definitely something that you don't want to see. Green mold, the jury's out. Some people say that it's fine, you just scrape it off. Other people say no, you shouldn't see it at all. I'm somewhere in the middle because I've had some great charcuterie that had green mold on it. So I'm not really sure. I'm still exploring. I'm still learning. Do a lot of reading on it if you want to do this at home. So let's slice this open and see what happened. Okay, let's slice right into the middle here and see what we've got. Oh, that looks pretty good. Smells really good too. Now I suppose some of this really tough layer on the outside, you could cut that off with a knife if you wanted to. I'm just going to slice it up on the slicer, and I'm going to get Julie out here and we'll give it a taste.
Hey Glenn, hey
Jules.
friends. I didn't want to sneak up there.
Okay.
Being very careful is.
So yes, be very careful with this. It's like that Alberta safety video that I did years ago. Wasn't that horrible?
And yet important.
It was very important.
Yeah.
I did an Alberta health and safety thing about a meat slicer. It was a very funny little bit. Maybe I'll show it to you sometime. So this is, I'm just calling it chili beef.
Okay.
I had a piece of meat. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So I took all of the flavors that I like from chili.
Okay.
And I put them on the outside. And then hung
Okay.
it up downstairs. So take a little piece and we'll see if the flavors, no chili flavor. Oh, a little bit of chili flavor. Very dried, beefy flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a flavor that's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't quite put my finger on it.
Be really good in a sandwich. Or on a charcuterie plate.
Yes. Yes. I mean, as much as I have my thinking face on, it's because I'm trying to identify the flavors.
Throw that down with some mustard and some pickles and things like that. That'd be really good. Okay, so chili beef, kind of a winner. Doesn't have the flavor that I thought it was going to have, but it's still nonetheless, I think,
It was a pretty decent slice
for
of meat.
a first attempt.
Yeah.
So as much as I think I need to do the classics, it's really a whole lot of fun just to try things that you don't know. As long as you get the salt and the curing powder right,
Yes.
you can add any flavor that you want.
It is the make it your own kind of part, recipe part of what we're doing, right? Here's the
is.
basic idea of how you
Yeah.
have to do it, but try it out. Test things out.
Yeah, nail the salt, nail the prog powder, which I think we've done because it's not overly salty. And then put whatever flavor on top. So I think that's, I'm going to do the classics. Come on back and see the classics. But I'm just going to play around with this sort of thing.
So that'll be super fun.
Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.